I got the opportunity, the privilege really, to work with Brad Wood. He's a producer. I think he's from Chicago originally, I want to say, but he's based out of LA now. And the band first got to work with him on the previous record, Catch Us the Foxes, which I didn't record. So it's really not worth listening to. I mean, the bass work's kind of, B bass playing at best. But I'm just kidding. It's really good. But anyway, we got to work with him, and some stuff he's worked on is he produced some Smashing Pumpkins, some Liz Phair, Pete Yorn, tons of other stuff, big catalog of stuff. But and actually Sunny Day Real Estate, the band that Jeremy Innick, who lended his vocals to our record, he recorded with him some of his early stuff. So yeah, so it was really a privilege, and we knew he had the mindset and he knew where we were coming from, and there was a good understanding there of a good relationship between the band and the producer. So by the time we went home, we had the rough mixes, and we were all really excited. But then when we got the mastered final mixes back, I mean, we were blown away. So he's got that magic touch for us, and I think we want nothing more than to go back with him. Looking at this time, maybe if we're, God willing, about a year from now, we'll be back out there recording with him, our last record for Tooth and Nail at least. I'm enjoying it while it's here, and I'm not investing my whole future in it, obviously, but it's nice to be doing. I think it's kind of fulfilled some sort of purpose for me, and I'm so glad I get to do it with people that I love. So I feel lucky, feel blessed to do that. It's interesting, to see where we got our start, or how long we've been doing bands that really didn't play out of the garage. It's kind of funny. I'll sit around and look at everybody and be like, what are we doing here? It's mostly, that's how it always strikes me. It's like, I have my friends, I have my life at home, and I love my friends, they love me, and it's just, we have our friendship, and it's not centered around the band at all by any means, and they show their support, and that's great. So it's funny sometimes to think that there's this, other part of my life that carries these this weight to it, and working with people who have worked with bigger bands, or or working with producers who we've looked up to, and played with other bands that we've liked and looked up to. So it's definitely interesting. Sometimes I step back, and that's really all I do is I laugh, and I look at my friends and laugh. That seems like not right. The fact that we were shooting a video, and there's this whole camera crew around us, and these light guys, and we're kind of laughing like, what is this for? Is this for a song we wrote in Ricky's basement? It's just, so it really is surreal. And sometimes that strikes me when we play in Philadelphia. There was a one-off show that really struck me this time. We did around Christmas time, a one-off show, which is a show when you're not on tour, you go to play one show, so called a one-off. It was Christmas time last year, and it was at the Electric Factory in Philadelphia, and we had played there for the first time a few months prior, that was also surreal to us, because we had gone, I saw lots of bands there. One that stands out to me was Morrissey, who I had used to sing for the Smiths, and I saw him play back in the 90s. And so I'd go there when I was younger, and it was like this huge, place to me. So it's interesting to be on the other side now, to go play a show there, and and to have that kind of be commonplace. I mean, it's not that it's common for us because we don't headline that place, but even to be opening, it's kind of just like, what are we doing here? What really struck me was I had ridden my bike to the show, because I live downtown in South Philly, so I'm about a 15-20 minute bike ride from there. And I rode my bike there, locked up, went in and played, and it's all the lights, everything real flashy, and then I unlock my bike, and I ride, I started to ride back from the venue all the way back to my neighborhood, bring my bike inside, and I'm back in my quiet house in South Philly. And it's just, and I remember I was sitting there, and I'm like, a half hour ago I was just standing on a stage in front of 3,000 people with lights and loud music and flowers being thrown from the stage by Aaron, and here I am in front of my computer, like a short distance away. And it's just weird how to enter that world from the back of the stage and then leave, and it's just very surreal. So I'm not saying that in any kind of way where it's like, I was doing this, or this or that, but it's just a very surreal, kind of humbling, scratch your head feeling. So when I joined the band, we were, I knew we were going to be touring on the recent release of Catch Us the Foxes, and that we probably wouldn't be doing any writing for a while. So I kind of, earned my stripes with the band first, just by touring and learning what the other guy had written. So I was a little curious to see what the writing process was going to be like for the new record. what already kind of calmed me in that experience was that like I said, mentioned before, that I had played with these guys for years, so there was no anxiety really about is there going to be musical chemistry? What are they going to think of my musical ability? And what I like about Me Without You is it's a much more collaborative effort. There's some songs where our drummer, wrote, most of the guitars for and recorded on his own, and then we turned it into one of our songs. Or there was a song, I had brought a guitar riff to the band, or Mike, our guitarist, had shown me a bass riff. So, we typically stick to our instruments, 95% of the time, but there's input, from everybody, because everybody's pretty musically well-rounded in the band, and there's a lot of good ideas that come out of it. So, we'll typically, somebody will have a riff, and then, we'll tediously, and I do mean tedious, we rented out a warehouse, space in a warehouse for about 5-6 weeks, and to write the 13 or so tracks for Brother Sister. And I'll say this, there's a lot of quality control in the band, Kleinberg. A lot of strong opinions, Kleinberg. That's the last name of a guy. Great guy. He definitely has his, he's hard to get parts by sometimes, but you know what? In the end, I'm grateful for it, because sometimes I would probably let things slip that I might not be too happy with later on. So he's kind of our quality control. And so typically we'll all write the music together. Aaron will have, even though Aaron just does vocals in the band, or actually now he plays some acoustic and some accordion and auxiliary stuff, but he has ideas too for some chord progressions and things, and we kind of work off that. Or sometimes we'll just write a whole musical piece, and he'll just sit around and kind of think of words for it. And it's an interesting process. It's really fun, I'll be honest. Touring's great, playing shows are great, but there's nothing like the energy of being in a room together, the 5 of us, and just making music together, just creating songs that we're excited about. To me, that feeling definitely tops any traveling or performing. But it all goes hand in hand. Not to sound cheesy, but kind of do it for the right reasons, because not that I sit from a place of high on a mountain with great fame and fortune and insight by any means, but I'll say the mild relative success we've had as a band. Advice would be do it with people you love. Get together with people you have good musical chemistry with, and just do what you like. Me and Steve were talking earlier about how there's a lot of bands out there. There's different things that people call groundbreaking, but if you're out to be groundbreaking or break ground, I feel like it's not really genuine. Just create what's in you, and hopefully you'll click with other people that are doing that, and then just do it. Put it out there. People are going to say about it what they're going to say. It doesn't bum me out if I see a bad review, and it doesn't necessarily make me feel validated as a person if I read a good review. And even though our new record's been really well received, that's just, people are going to say what they're going to say, good or bad. So just do what you love. And I think the internet's a great catalyst for getting your music out there nowadays. I'm doing it with my own solo stuff and with the hip hop stuff. It's just fun way to share your music with your friends and get it out there. But it's not all it's cracked up to be. I think when I was younger, I would have killed for the opportunity to be in a band that's playing the kind of shows we're playing now, the kind of venues. But to be honest, doing it now is great. But you kind of just see that it's still work. It's great work, but it's still work. And it's not all this, what's happening backstage. I'll tell you what's happening backstage is a roach on the ground. There's there's maybe some pita and hummus, and these gross couches that who knows what was going on them the night before. So it's I'd rather be hanging out with the people at the show and just kind of or outside. So do what you love, kids.